Okay, so last night the Indiana Pacers and the New York Knicks faced off in Game Two of the Eastern Conference Finals. The Pacers edged the Knicks out and ended up winning 114 to 109. It was a great basketball game. A very
Mm-hmm.
close one, right? We
Yeah.
spoke kind of very, I say a little harsh on the Knicks after they lost that previous one that they did that game one.
Yeah.
I feel
Mm-hmm.
like it kind of slipped away there, but they made some great adjustments. And I'll speak on the Knicks first because OG scored the basketball well. He
He
had
did.
16 points, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
two
on
threes.
efficient shooting. Yeah, Mikhail had
Mm-hmm.
20. They played a really good basketball game. I honestly feel like they just ran out of time. Like to be honest, I feel like
Mm-hmm.
when you're trying to make these late comebacks in these fourth quarters,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you can just run out of time on the clock to get that done. What do y'all think?
I mean, I agree with that definitely. I mean, just looking at the game overall, I mean, Siakam had the greatest game of his. It kind of gave you vibes of like Toronto Siakam, that 2019 run, this
Yeah.
kind of game, pretty much. I mean, he balled out. I mean, they couldn't stop him, pretty much. I mean, the Knicks had a perfect game. Everyone did their job. It's just what you said, Tay, time. That was the biggest issue, having these late runs in the fourth quarter, third quarter, because they were right next to him the whole game. I think probably the big factor was probably the late turnovers in the fourth quarter, if anything. And they started attacking Brunson too, going after him, going play and run right in front of his face, pretty much, of like depending
Were
on
there
him
players
to turn over the
in
ball.
foul trouble?
Um,
Nah, I don't think so.
I don't know foul trouble or anything, but I just think they
Okay.
just played great defense on Brunson pretty much all night,
Yeah,
Nah,
no,
man.
especially the.
I feel like the Knicks lost the game more than the Pacers won
Mm-hmm,
because they had to bench Cat because on defense there's a liability. They was
mm-hmm,
letting Siakam and Miles Turner just have the way with them. That's why he only played like 30 minutes. They had
mm-hmm.
Mitch Robinson take his minutes, and Indiana took advantage of that. Every time in the fourth quarter, they hacked him because he's been 18 for like 40, 41 or something in the playoffs, bro, for the free throw line.
yeah.
So I
Who
mean,
Robinson?
yeah,
Yeah, that's what I mean. I saw that in the fourth quarter. They just Cat didn't even play. It was just Mitch
yeah, they
Robinson the
didn't.
whole
They
time.
didn't because Cat was like his plus minus was like negative like 25, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
so
tell
I
you,
mean,
bro. I'm gonna tell you who it was, bro. In that fourth quarter, as New York's trying to go on their magical run and get it done, it was CJ McConnell, man, who got it done. He is a seasoned vet, bro. Like he's a
yeah,
phenomenal
TJ McConnell.
point guard.
TJ.
Yes, he
yeah,
was
Okay.
distributing the ball, passing the ball, throwing passes like across the court. Like there was one
Mm-hmm.
specific play. He dribbled under the basket, and threw the ball back out to the 3 point line to like a Neesmith or a Matherin,
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
for an open shot. Like CJ McCollum played phenomenal. I think it was around that 4 minute mark in the fourth quarter. I really feel like Indy's bench, their depth, like we keep talking about, is the difference maker here because
yeah.
It
you
So
know
is.
how you know how hard it is to win these games, and definitely one in New York and two against a team like New York Knicks that
Yeah.
have guys like Josh Hart play 40 minutes a night who just constant effort. So
yeah,
that's my
because
takeaway.
at a certain point, it's like, what can New York even do? Brunson in the last two games is averaging 40 points per game when they're 0-2 in the series.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought the biggest thing what really sold them from last game is down the stretch they took too long to create buckets. Right,
Mm-hmm.
Brunson trying to create a shot. It's a 24-second shot clock. He's taking 18 seconds to make a play or take a
Yeah,
shot, and the only chance of him really it's either he makes it or you hope for a Mitch Robinson offensive rebound for a second chance, but it's not even
Mm-hmm.
reliable, right? If you want to come back and take the lead and go on a run, you need quick buckets, push the pace, and quick tempo basketball.
so
So
you think they would do better just scoring in transition or trying to.
yeah, either that or like at
Mm-hmm.
least yeah, try to get numbers, try to keep them off guard. Because again, the biggest thing about a run, especially on your home court, is keeping the defense on their toes, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So if they're all set and they're ready to go, and you just sitting here dribbling, trying to get an ISO, they can slow down and get a stop. It's easier for them to get a stop when you're just dribbling around rather than pushing the tempo.
I
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah, that's valid.
Yeah.
That's valid. Even with their spacing, I mean,
Uh,
and you got Brunson taking the ball up the court and the spacing's there. There's
yeah.
not really
Mm-hmm.
no other isolation type scorers on that team. You could arguably say Cat, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
you're right, Chris. I think if they get out in transition,
Uh,
speed Indiana up. You know what I mean? Like make
exactly.
them make mistakes.
Yeah.
I feel
I
Put them
like
on
mean,
their
that
toes.
that
Yeah.
could be.
That's the thing, though. How Indiana won this game was their transition, pretty much. The transition was insane this game, pretty much
Yeah.
for them. That's how it was. How Rick Carlisle is a coach is. He depends on the fast breaks a lot. He's an old school coach. He loves the fast breaks,
Yeah.
and that's how he gets
Yeah.
his big leads and
Uh-huh.
build these teams for himself. And that's how they pretty much won the game last night was the fast breaks and transitions, pretty much eliminating their turnovers, pretty much.
Is that
Yeah.
and one big part too is their spacing, bro. Having
Mhm.
Miles Turner, bro. Miles Turner is one of the best centers. Like in terms of like for this roster, he's one of the best possible centers the game can have, bro.
Oh
Because
yeah.
I don't think with any other center you can space the floor as well as you can with Miles Turner. With him knocking out, he shot like what 5 for 10. He was knocking out threes in the fourth quarter.
He
He was
was
pretty
making
clutch.
3 pointers. Yep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
bro. So I mean, I feel like that's a really big part of it too, because New York can space the floor a little bit, but yesterday
Mhm.
when he was benched, we had Mitch Robinson in the paint,
Yeah,
so
that's
it
not
kind of just
going.
yeah, it
I
wasn't
got
really
you.
it didn't mesh as well.
Okay, so briefly, I mean, going into game 3 here,
Yeah,
Indiana's going back to the crib. I said on our last recording or our last time talking about the Pacers, if they go up 2-0, they're gonna win that third one at the crib. What are we
yeah.
kind of thinking if we just guess who's gonna win the game?
I mean, it's gonna be tough. It's going back to
Uh,
game 3. It could easily be like what I said yesterday with the Timberwolves. It could go easily 2-2 back to Madison Square Garden. It just depends on the Knicks. Like, what kind of game are they gonna come back with? Is this gonna be? Is Cat gonna show up? Is he gonna play? Is he gonna be a defensive liability, or is he gonna actually do his job as a center? And I just think you just got to eliminate. Don't let one player kill you that game, pretty much. Because you look at the Pacers, one player killed them, pretty much.
Yeah,
I mean, Siakam went off against the Knicks, pretty much.
uh,
That's what eliminate that. I mean, you held Halliburton to 14, but he was pretty much a point guard yesterday. If anything, he was just doing his
yeah,
job.
yeah,
The
like
same with
facilitating and passing it.
yeah. He don't
yeah.
gotta score. Scoring is not his priority, which is
Yeah, that's
a
what we
big
were
part.
talking about
Yeah,
in that Buck series. He doesn't
yeah,
have to in some of
Hmm.
these games. What I would say though, if New York wants to win this pivotal game 3, gotta utilize Miles McBride. He comes off the bench
Hmm.
every
yeah,
single game that he plays for however long, 5 minutes or so, or to end the quarters out. Second going into halftime,
Hmm.
and
yeah,
he plays phenomenal. He's a spark plug, but he doesn't play that much because the New York or the Knicks philosophy, I should say, is playing their
yeah,
starters, 40 minutes a game. I
Hmm.
think guys like Miles McBride off the
uh,
bench could really be utilized in this series. Again, Indiana has depth, bro.
They do.
They have a backup point guard. If you're playing 2K with 100 energy ready to go off the bench if somebody gets tired defensively.
yeah.
So you gotta
Yeah.
you gotta utilize your strength in numbers.
No, it was definitely.
I mean, I
But
agree with that. Definitely that.
we're gonna come back to this Knicks Pacers series as the games go on. The Timberwolves and the Thunder face off today. But let's first talk about these All NBA team selections that came out yesterday. Um,
Yeah,
I'll start off and list off the first team first. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Shea, Jokic, Mitchell, and Tatum. All NBA first team. I think they got it perfect, right? Obviously, you have Giannis,
yeah,
Shea, and Jokic, the MVP
Hmm.
finalist in there. But Mitchell and Tatum, I feel like are great selections, especially Donovan Mitchell after that electric playoff run. So yeah, I think
Hmm.
they got it right in the first team.
yeah. I think first team, no misses there. Everything's. I agree with everything. Nothing to complain
Yeah.
about.
All that's great. I mean, the
Yeah,
four players right there could have been MVP with Tatum, Jokic, Shea, and Giannis right
yeah,
there. And Mitchell's impact this year, helping Cleveland.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to the second team.
yeah,
Second team All NBA is Jalen Brunson, Stephen Curry, Anthony Edwards, LeBron James, Evan Mobley. Once again, I feel like this is perfect.
yeah,
Jalen Brunson is still the clutchest player in the NBA. I don't care. I know Halliburton's
Mhm.
playing good.
yeah,
Brunson's still the clutchest player in the NBA. Steph Curry, yeah, people don't know though. Steph Curry had a slow start to this season,
He
and
did
then
very
they went
slow.
on that
yeah.
crazy run, All
After
Star
he got
going into
Butler,
All Star, post
yeah,
All Star. So
Hmm.
Anthony Edwards, I feel like that's unanimous as well as LeBron and Mobley. So I think
yeah,
they hit it out the park.
I can agree with that. I think it go interchangeable with. I mean, Braun did have a good year, at age 40. I mean, I could say Kate Cunningham could have made second team, if anything. Cade
Most
was
definitely.
really good this year. I can
yeah,
understand Tyson though making third team because he only played limited this year. Not played half the beginning of the season. Pretty much came late in the season.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Nah,
I
I agree
agree.
with you. I feel like the second team's pretty good.
Back to what Brendan said though, if I had to give the slight edge to Cunningham,
Mm-hmm.
I go if I wasn't like if I had to defend him not making a second team, I will say I feel like Brunson's a no brainer. But I feel like the argument to support Curry is that he's playing in the Western Conference, and we all know how that finish was, and then the play in and stuff.
Yeah.
So I could see Cunningham in there, but I think they got it right. But moving on to the
Okay.
third team,
Yeah.
once again, Cade Cunningham, Tyrese Halliburton, James Harden,
Mhm.
Carl Anthony Towns, and Jalen Williams.
That's a good list. You could
It
even
is.
argue that. You could argue J-Dub being second team too.
Mhm.
This is I think this is a really good third team compared to other years. K had a really good year. This is the first year K really showed that why he's the number one overall pick back in 2020. Was 2021, right?
Yeah.
22.
Yeah.
I thought it was
22?
Was it 21?
No,
Oh, I
22
thought
was
it was 21.
21. Yeah, 21. 21. Yeah,
Yeah,
21.
yeah.
Yeah,
It showed why
21.
he's number one overall pick. He finally had his breakout year. Goes to the playoffs. They performed pretty well compared to previous years. Halliburton
Mhm.
too. We've seen in the playoffs. He's a playoff riser for sure. James Harden. We've seen how he can facilitate, how he can create the offense. Him and Zubac had a really good duo this year, and Cat and J Dub too. They both the new roles. They both excel, and so that's why this really 13 is really good.
Yeah, I agree.
Uh-huh.
I really have no argument with the two guards or the three guards, I should say. Cade
Yeah,
Cunningham, no brainer. I mean, he took that second step, and I'm not trying to compare nobody, but anytime I think about that 21 draft class, I think of him and Jalen Green. I feel like Cade Cunningham's on another planet right now
Yeah,
than
he
Jalen
is.
Green. And then Tyrese
Mhm.
Halliburton, I feel like that's a no-brainer. Harden has
Mhm.
been phenomenal. He's played some phenomenal, entertaining basketball. Him and Zubac were my favorite guard center duo, so I'm a little biased there. And then
yeah,
Cat, I mean, I feel like he played phenomenal. Definitely worthy of that trade and what they gave up. And then
Yeah.
Jalen Williams, I mean, second option on the best team in the NBA, 68 wins. So
yeah. Speaks
I
for
got no
itself.
argument for it.
I agree with all of y'all right now with that. Kate Cunningham, who's great, carried Detroit this year pretty much, and Tyson Halliburton did his job pretty much, helping the Pacers get to the playoffs late in the season. And speaking of Harden, I mean, I think this is one of Harden's best seasons we've seen probably since like the Rockets, in my opinion. I mean, this was really good Harden, like being the facilitator he used to be with like Clint Capella and him back on the Rockets. He just gave you vibes with that with Zubac. And then Cat did a really good job this year. Picking up that role for the Knicks. Being that two option for Brunson. And then Jalen Williams, he was a really good player for Shea this year, being his Robin pretty much, and been really good in the playoffs so far. So
Yeah,
Yeah. So I think all in all, I think we could all say they pretty much hit it out the park with the team selections. Um
mhm.
so yeah, moving on though, briefly, I want to just preview and kind of talk about this Thunder Timberwolves game 2 that's gonna be or game 3 that's gonna be going on tonight. When we
yeah,
talked about the matchup last time, I said I wasn't a fan of how Minnesota shot the three pointer 50 times or a lot at
Mhm.
that.
yeah,
I'm still standing on that. To be honest, I feel like you
mhm,
got to switch it up. You got to get to the free throw line. You're at home.
Mhm.
If anything, your whistle is definitely going to be a lot better than a Shea Gilgeous-Alexander that just won the MVP award. They're
yeah,
not
Mhm.
going to be giving him no calls. If they do, the ref is going to get booed every time he does. So
Yeah.
I really,
yeah,
I really think Minnesota's game plan has to be just getting to the free throw line.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree with you. You can't rely on 3 points. At this point, relying on threes is not going to work for you. You have to take the advantages where it's saying the free throws is going to help you out, especially at home.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with that definitely, Chris. I mean, they just need to make their shots, get to drive to the lane, get some foul calls. Try match with the OKC because OKC is going to get their calls pretty much. You just got to match that with that, and then hopefully they can shoot better tonight than they have been in the series so far. I know Ant's gonna have a good game. I just need Jaden McDaniels. We know Julius Randle's gonna have a comeback hopefully in this game. It just really depends on the bench. Like can Nas Reed, Dante show
Yes,
up off
bro.
the bench.
DiVincenzo, bro. This is relying on DiVincenzo, bro. Like
Hmm
Yeah.
for real, bro.
Yeah. So let's take it back and let's do it this way. If y'all
Mhm.
had to pick a winner for game 3 tonight in Minnesota, who do y'all got? Me personally, I got the Thunder winning, going up 3-0 in the series. Brendan, who do you got?
I gotta say Thunder. I mean, the Thunder got that momentum right now. They're carrying with it. They're playing the best basketball right now in the whole NBA, in my opinion. They're playing like themselves. This is what we expect OKC with the best roster in the NBA. So I think they'll win tonight in a wide margin, in my opinion.
Okay, Chris.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Minnesota took the win here. They're back at home, saying change of pace. This is the chance to really change momentum a little bit and put it back their way. They have 2 games to prove it, so we'll see how they do. But I think I got Minnesota this game.
Okay. All right. So we'll see what happens. Of
Mhm.
course, we're gonna keep talking about it. We're gonna try to continue the streak of dropping every day. So make sure
Yeah.
y'all not only subscribe, but turn on post notifications and follow the socials below so you don't miss an upload or a post on any of our platforms. As always, we appreciate y'all.